Hey friends, welcome back to TalkMate English. I'm Adam, and in today's video, we are going to practice real English conversations that you can use in your daily life. Whether you're talking to a friend, shopping at the store, or asking for help, you'll learn how to speak English naturally and with confidence. If you want to improve your speaking skills, listening skills, and vocabulary, this is the perfect video for you. So, sit back, relax, and listen carefully. Try to repeat after me whenever possible, and imagine yourself using these phrases in real situations. Let's begin our English journey together. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready for the day. Let's go through a simple conversation that might happen in this situation. You might say to your roommate or family member, "Good morning, did you sleep well?" The other person might reply, "Good morning. Yes, I did. What about you?" Then you can respond with, "I slept okay, but I feel a little tired today." These are small and simple sentences, but they are very common and very helpful. You can practice them every morning to start speaking English more naturally. Let's go a little deeper. Suppose you are having breakfast with someone. You might ask, "Would you like some tea or coffee?" The other person can reply, "I'll have some coffee, please." Then you can say, "How do you take it? With milk or sugar?" These are common conversation starters that help you connect with others. Practice this. "Would you like some tea or coffee?" Now say, "I'll have some coffee, please." Great job. Keep repeating these simple dialogues to get comfortable with them. Now let's move to a different situation. You are going to a grocery store. You walk in and you might greet the shopkeeper by saying, "Hello, good afternoon." They might say, "Good afternoon. How can I help you today?" You can reply, "I'm looking for some fresh vegetables and fruits." Then the shopkeeper might say, "We have fresh apples, bananas, and oranges today." You can then respond, "That sounds great. I'll take a kilo of apples and half a kilo of bananas, please." You see how natural this flow is? Practicing these types of dialogues will help you speak confidently in real life. Let's continue with some more useful practice. When you're done shopping, you might want to ask about the price. You can say, "How much is it in total?" And the shopkeeper will respond, "That will be $5.50. Then you say, "Here you go. Thank you." The shopkeeper replies, "Thank you. Have a nice day." These short exchanges are very useful for practicing listening and speaking. Now, repeat with me. How much is it in total? That will be $5.50. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day. Practice this several times. Repeating it again and again will help you remember and use it without thinking. Now, let's go into a very common situation. Asking for directions. Imagine you're in a new city and you don't know where to go. You might say, "Excuse me, can you help me, please?" The person might say, "Of course. What are you looking for?" You can say, "I'm looking for the nearest bus stop." The person can reply, "It's just around the corner. Walk straight and take the first left." You can then say, "Thank you so much." The person responds, "You're welcome. Have a good day." Practice this situation with me. Repeat the phrases. "Excuse me, can you help me, please?" "I'm looking for the nearest bus stop. It's just around the corner. Walk straight and take the first left. Thank you so much. You're welcome." Simple and helpful. These phrases will come in handy when you're traveling or visiting a new place. Let's now practice a phone conversation. Imagine your friend is calling you. You pick up the phone and say, "Hello, this is Adam speaking." Your friend says, "Hey, Adam, it's Sarah. How are you?" You respond, "I'm good, thanks. How about you?" Your friend says, "I'm doing well. Are you free this evening?" You reply, "Yes, I am. What's up?" Your friend says, "Let's meet for coffee." You say, "That sounds great. What time?" Your friend replies, "How about 6 p.m.?" You respond, "Perfect. See you then." This short conversation shows you how to keep a friendly and polite tone while talking on the phone. Practice it with me by repeating each line, slowly. Now let's look at a situation at work or school. Imagine your teacher or manager gives you a task. They say, "Can you please finish this report by tomorrow?" You can reply, "Sure, I'll do my best." They say, "Let me know if you need any help." You respond, "Thank you. I'll let you know." These kinds of professional conversations are very useful. You can use them in emails, at work, or in formal situations. Repeat these with me. "Can you please finish this report by tomorrow?" "Sure, I'll do my best." "Let me know if you need any help." "Thank you, I'll let you know." Let's imagine another daily life conversation. You go to a cafe and place an order. You say, "Hi, I'd like a cappuccino, please." The barista says, "Sure, would you like it hot or iced?" You reply, "Hot, please." They say, "Anything else?" You say, "Yes, a blueberry muffin, please." The barista says, "Okay, that will be $6. You respond, "Here you go." The barista says, "Thank you. Please wait at the counter." These kinds of conversations happen every day in cafes and restaurants. Practicing them will help you feel confident when you go out to eat or drink. Repeat this mini dialogue with me a few times to build fluency. Let's now practice conversations that happen when you meet someone new. Suppose you're introduced to someone at a party or event. You might say, "Hi, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you." The other person responds, "Hi, Adam, I'm Laura. Nice to meet you too." Then you can say, "Is this your first time here?" The other person might say, "Yes, I just moved to this city a few weeks ago." You can respond, "That's great. How are you liking it so far?" These are natural ways to start conversations and make someone feel comfortable. Repeat these sentences with me to get used to using them. "Hi, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you. Is this your first time here? How are you liking it so far?" These are friendly and polite questions you can use to build a connection with new people. Now imagine you are at the doctor's office. This is another common situation in daily life. The receptionist might ask, "Do you have an appointment?" You can say, "Yes, I have an appointment at 10:30. Then they ask, "What is your name?" You reply, "Adam Smith." The receptionist says, "Please have a seat. The doctor will call you shortly." Later, when the doctor sees you, they might ask, "What brings you in today?" You respond, "I've been having a sore throat and a mild fever." The doctor says, "Let me take a look. How long have you had these symptoms?" You answer, "About 3 days." The doctor says, "Okay, I'll prescribe you some medicine. Make sure to rest and drink plenty of fluids." You say, "Thank you, doctor." These types of conversations are helpful because they prepare you for medical visits. Practice this example by repeating each sentence slowly. Let's now talk about conversations you may have when taking public transport. Imagine you're at a bus station. You go to the counter and say, Hi, I'd like a ticket to Central Station, please. The person replies, one way or round trip? You say, one way, please. They ask, what time would you like to leave? You reply, the next available bus, please. The person says, that will be $10. You say, here, you go. Thank you. Then they say, you're welcome. Your bus leaves from platform 3. These conversations help you communicate clearly while traveling. Practice this short dialogue with me. Hi, I'd like a ticket to Central Station. Please, one way or round trip? One way, please. What time would you like to leave? The next available bus, please. That will be $10. Here you go, thank you. You're welcome. Let's continue with a conversation. At the bank, you walk up to the counter and say, hi, I'd like to open a savings account. The bank worker says, sure, do you have a valid ID with you? You reply, yes, I have my passport and utility bill. They say, perfect, please fill out this form and have a seat. You respond, thank you. Is there a minimum deposit? They reply, yes, the minimum deposit is $50. You say, all right, I'll deposit $100 today. These types of formal conversations are helpful in financial settings. Practice saying these sentences clearly and confidently. It will help you the next time you visit a bank or financial office. Now let's look at a conversation in a clothing store. You walk in and say, hi, I'm looking for a pair of jeans. The shop assistant says, sure, what size are you? You reply, I'm a size 32. They say, we have some jeans in that size right over here. Would you like to try them on? You say, yes, please. Where is the fitting room? The assistant says, right over there in the back. After trying them, you come back and say, they fit well. I'll take them. The assistant says, great. Would you like to pay by cash or card? You say, by card, please. Repeat this conversation with me. These dialogues help you speak confidently while shopping. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Let's now imagine you're visiting a friend's house for the first time. You arrive and say, hi, thank you for inviting me. Your friend says, you're welcome. Come on in. You say, your home is beautiful. Your friend replies, thank you so much. Can I get you something to drink? You say, a glass of water would be great, thanks. Then your friend says, no problem. Make yourself comfortable. This kind of polite, casual conversation is perfect for social visits. Try practicing it aloud to get used to friendly interactions in English. It will also help you sound more natural and polite when talking to people in relaxed settings. Now, let's practice a situation where you're making a hotel booking. You walk up to the reception and say, hi, I have a reservation under the name Adam Smith. The receptionist says, let me check. Yes, we have your booking for 2 nights. You say, great. Can I get a room with a view? The receptionist says, let me see what's available. Yes, we have a room on the 5th floor with a city view. You say, that sounds perfect, thank you. Then the receptionist says, here is your room key. Breakfast is served from 7 to 10 a.m. You reply, thank you. Have a good day. This kind of conversation is very common for travelers. Practicing it will help you feel more confident when staying at hotels. Let's take another daily situation. You are at a restaurant with a friend. The waiter comes and says, are you ready to order? You say, yes. I'll have the grilled chicken with rice. Your friend says, and I'll have the pasta, please. The waiter replies, would you like anything to drink? You say, I'll have a glass of orange juice. Your friend says, just water for me, please. The waiter replies, "Thank you. Your food will be ready shortly." Later, when you're done, the waiter asks, "Would you like any dessert?" You say, "Yes. Can we have a slice of chocolate cake?" These kinds of conversations help you when you eat out. Practice these sentences to make your dining experience smoother. Now let's imagine you're talking with a colleague about the weekend. They ask, "Do you have any plans for the weekend?" You reply, "Yes, I'm going hiking with some friends." They say, "That sounds fun. Where are you going?" You respond, "We're going to the mountains outside the city." They say, "Nice. I love the outdoors, too." You reply, "You should join us sometime." This kind of small talk builds friendly relationships with people at work or school. Practice this casual conversation with me. It's great for improving fluency and confidence in everyday speech. Let's now practice a conversation at the library. Imagine you walk up to the front desk and say, "Hi, I'd like to get a library card." The librarian replies, "Sure. Do you have a form of ID with you?" You say, "Yes, I have my student ID and a utility bill." The librarian responds, "Perfect. Please fill out this form. It will only take a few minutes." After filling the form, you return and say, "Here you go." The librarian says, "Thank you. Your card will be ready shortly. You can start borrowing books today." You respond, "That's great. Where can I find books on English grammar?" The librarian replies, "They're in aisle 5, right next to the reading corner." You say, "Thank you so much." This type of conversation helps you navigate public places like libraries more confidently. Repeat these sentences with me to practice how to ask questions and respond politely in English. Now let's look at a situation where you have a guest visiting your home. You open the door and say, "Hey, welcome. Come on in." Your guest says, "Thank you. It's nice to see you." You reply, "It's been a while. Make yourself at home." Your guest says, "Thanks. Your place looks really nice." You respond, "I'm glad you like it. Can I get you something to drink?" These are natural and friendly expressions used when someone visits you. You can practice them often to feel more confident when speaking. English in social settings. Try repeating, "Make yourself at home." "Can I get you something to drink?" These small but powerful expressions help you sound more polite and fluent. Now imagine you are calling customer service. This can be a little more formal, but it's still an important skill. You begin by saying, "Hello, I'm calling about a problem with my internet connection." The agent replies, "I'm sorry to hear that. Can you please tell me your account number?" You say, "Sure, it's 589210. The agent says, "Thank you. I'm checking your account now. One moment, please." After a few seconds, they say, "It looks like there is a technical issue in your area. A technician will visit you tomorrow." You respond, "Okay, thank you for the information." These conversations require clear communication. Practice saying, "I'm calling about a problem with my internet connection. Can you please tell me your account number? Thank you for the information." Repeating these dialogues helps you deal with similar real-life situations more easily. Let's move on to a friendly conversation at a party. Imagine someone walks up to you and says, "Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Mark." You reply, "Hi, Mark, I'm Adam. Nice to meet you." Mark says, "Nice to meet you, too. Are you enjoying the party?" You respond, "Yes, it's great. The music is really good." Mark says, "Totally. Have you tried the snacks?" They're amazing. You reply, not yet, but I will. What do you do for a living? Mark says, I'm a teacher. How about you? You respond, I work in marketing. These small talk examples are important when meeting new people. Practice these questions and answers to feel more comfortable speaking in social gatherings. Repeat. What do you do for a living? Nice to meet you. Are you enjoying the party? These are useful phrases that can help start and continue conversations. Now let's go through a dialogue at a pharmacy. You walk up to the counter and say, Hi, I need something for a headache. The pharmacist replies, Sure. Do you have any allergies to medication? You say, No, I don't. The pharmacist says, You can take this tablet every 6 hours with food. You respond, Thank you. How many tablets are in the pack? They say, There are 12 tablets. That should last for a few days. You say, All right, I'll take 1 pack. Please. The pharmacist replies, That'll be $4. You say, Here you go. Thank you. This conversation is very useful when you need to buy over-the-counter medicine. Practice these sentences slowly and repeat them aloud. I need something for a headache. Do you have any allergies? How many tablets are in the pack? These questions and answers are very common in pharmacies and clinics. Let's try a conversation in a classroom. You turn to your classmate and say, Hi, do you understand the homework assignment? They reply, A little, but I'm not sure. About question number 4. You respond, Me too. Maybe we can ask the teacher after class. They say, That's a good idea. What time does the class end? You reply, At 3 p.m. They say, Okay, let's stay for a few minutes after class. These conversations are helpful for practicing English in school settings. Repeat the following lines with me. Do you understand the homework? Maybe we can ask the teacher. Let's stay for a few minutes after class. These examples help you express yourself clearly when studying in English-speaking environments. Now, let's imagine you are booking an appointment at a salon or barber shop. You call and say, Hello, I'd like to book a haircut for tomorrow. The receptionist says, Sure. What time would you like to come in? You say, Is 11 a.m. available? They reply, Yes, 11 a.m. is free. Can I get your name, please? You say, Adam Smith. They say, All set, Adam. We'll see you tomorrow at 11. You reply, Thank you. See you then. This type of appointment-making conversation is very common. You can practice this by repeating, I'd like to book a haircut. Is 11 a.m. available? All set. See you tomorrow. These lines will help you make appointments with ease and confidence. Let's now take an example of a neighborly conversation. You see your neighbor in the garden and say, Good morning. How are you today? They say, Good morning. I'm doing well, thank you. How about you? You reply, I'm fine, thanks. The weather is really nice today, isn't it? Your neighbor says, Yes, it's a perfect day to be outside. You respond, Are you working on your garden? They say, Yes, I'm planting some flowers. You reply, That's lovely. I hope they bloom soon. These small but friendly conversations help build relationships in your community. Repeat with me. Good morning. How are you? The weather is nice today. I'm planting some flowers. These are easy ways to talk with neighbors and be more friendly in your surroundings. Now, imagine you are at a job interview. The interviewer says, Tell me about yourself. You reply, My name is Adam, and I have 5 years of experience in marketing. I enjoy working with people and solving problems. The interviewer says, "Why do you want to work for our company?" You say, "I admire your company's values, and I believe I can contribute to your team's success." They ask, "What are your strengths?" You say, "I'm very organized, hardworking, and a good communicator." These types of questions are very common in interviews. Practice answering them in your own words. Try repeating, "Tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? What are your strengths?" Being prepared with these answers will help you feel confident in job interviews. Let's now practice a conversation at the post office. You walk up to the counter and say, "Good afternoon. I'd like to send this package to New York." The clerk replies, "Sure. Would you like standard or express delivery?" You respond, "What's the difference?" The clerk says, "Standard delivery takes 5 to 7 days. Express delivery takes 2 days but costs more." You say, "I'll go with standard delivery, please." The clerk asks, "Do you want to include insurance?" You say, "Yes, that would be good." The clerk says, "All right. Please fill out this form." You complete the form and return it saying, "Here you go." The clerk replies, "Thank you. Your total is $10. You say, "Here's the money." The clerk says, "Thanks. Your package is on its way." These types of postal service conversations are common and very useful. Let's practice together. I'd like to send this package. What's the difference between standard and express? Please fill out this form. Practicing. These lines will help you whenever you visit a post office or shipping center. Now let's imagine a situation at a mobile phone shop. You enter and say, "Hi, I'm looking to buy a new phone." The salesperson replies, "Sure. Are you looking for any specific brand?" You say, "Yes, I'm interested in Samsung models." The salesperson says, "We have several models available. What's your budget?" You reply, "Around $300. They say, "In that range, I recommend this model. It has good battery life and camera quality." You say, "That looks good. Can I test it?" They reply, "Of course. Here you go." After checking the phone, you say, "I like it. I'll take it." The salesperson says, "Great choice. Would you like to buy a case or screen protector with it?" You reply, "Yes, please." These dialogues help you navigate a sales conversation effectively. Practice. I'm looking to buy a new phone. What's your budget? Can I test it? These lines will help you handle technology-related shopping confidently. Let's now practice a scenario at the cinema. You go to the ticket counter and say, "Hi, I'd like 2 tickets for the 6 p.m. show." The clerk replies, "Which movie would you like to see?" You respond, "The new action film." The clerk says, "Okay, that'll be $12. You say, "Here you go." The clerk asks, "Would you like popcorn or drinks?" You say, "Yes, 1 large popcorn and 2 sodas." The clerk says, "That'll be an additional $10. You pay and receive your items. They say, "Enjoy the movie." These kinds of fun, entertainment-based conversations are easy to learn and use. Practice these short lines. "I'd like 2 tickets for the 6 p.m. show." "Which movie would you like to see?" "Enjoy the movie." Use these examples to feel more comfortable when visiting the cinema in an English-speaking country. Let's move on to a conversation about planning an event. You and a friend are organizing a birthday party. You say, "We should start planning the party. When do you think we should have it?" Your friend replies, "How about Saturday evening?" You say, "That works. Where should we have it?" Your friend says, "Let's do it at my place. We have more space." You respond, "Great. I'll bring the cake and drinks." Your friend says, "Perfect. I'll take care of the music and decorations." You say, "Do you think we should invite everyone from class?" Your friend replies, "Yes, let's make a list." These kinds of planning conversations are helpful when organizing social events. Practice these sentences with me. When should we have the party? Where should we have it? I'll bring the cake and drinks. These expressions will help you when making plans in English. Now let's take a look at a situation where you need to reschedule a meeting. You say, "Hi, I wanted to check if we can move our meeting to tomorrow." The other person says, "Sure, what time works for you?" You reply, "Would 2 p.m. be okay?" They respond, "Yes, 2 p.m. works. I'll update the calendar invite." You say, "Thank you, I appreciate it." These kinds of professional interactions are very helpful in work and school settings. Let's repeat. Can we move our meeting to tomorrow? What time works for you? I appreciate it. Learning how to politely reschedule or adjust plans is a very useful part of English communication. Now imagine you're talking to someone about learning English. They ask, "Why are you learning English?" You say, "I want to improve my career opportunities and travel more easily." They reply, "That's a great reason. How do you practice?" You respond, "I watch English videos, read books, and practice speaking with friends." They say, "That's smart. Practice really helps." You reply, "Yes, it's all about using English every day." These conversations help you talk about your language learning journey. Repeat these lines with me. I want to improve my career opportunities. How do you practice? It's all about using English every day. These types of conversations are not only motivating, but also useful for explaining your goals and connecting with others. Let's go through a conversation in a coffee shop, but this time between two friends meeting after a long time. One says, "Wow, it's been so long. How have you been?" The other replies, "I've been good. Busy with work, but things are going well." The first friend says, "That's great to hear. What are you doing these days?" The other says, "I'm working at a new company. It's been a good change." You say, "That's amazing. Let's catch up properly. Want to grab lunch sometime this week?" The other says, "Yes, I'd love that. Let's plan something." These conversations help you stay connected with old friends and improve your speaking at the same time. Repeat these expressions. How have you been? What are you doing these days? Let's catch up properly. They are very natural and useful in casual conversations. Let's now practice asking for help in a shop. You walk in and say, "Excuse me, can you help me find the baking soda?" The employee says, "Sure. It's in aisle 4 near the spices." You say, "Thank you." The employee replies, "You're welcome. Let me know if you need anything else." You say, "Actually, do you have almond milk?" The employee responds, "Yes, it's in the refrigerator section." You say, "Perfect. Thanks again." These helpful exchanges make shopping experiences easier. Practice asking politely, "Can you help me find?" "Do you have?" "Let me know if you need anything else." These are perfect for building confidence when shopping. Now imagine you're checking into an airport. You walk up to the counter and say, "Hi, I'm checking in for my flight to London." The agent says, "May I see your passport and ticket?" You reply, "Here they are." The agent checks and says, "Do you have any bags to check?" You respond, "Yes, just one." The agent says, "Okay, your bag is checked in. Here is your boarding pass. Your gate is B12. You reply, "Thank you very much." This airport. Conversation is essential for travelers. Practice. I'm checking in for my flight. Do you have any bags to check? Here is your boarding pass. These phrases will help you navigate international travel more smoothly. Let's now practice a conversation at the gym. You walk in and say to the trainer, "Hi, I'm new here. Can you help me get started?" The trainer replies, "Of course. Have you ever worked out before?" You say, "A little bit, but it's been a while." The trainer responds, "No problem. Let's start with a basic routine." You say, "Sounds good. Should I start with cardio or strength training?" The trainer says, "We'll begin with light cardio, then move on to some simple strength exercises." You reply, "Great. Thank you for your help." These kinds of conversations are helpful when starting something new like a workout or hobby. Repeat these lines with me. I'm new here. Can you help me get started? Should I start with cardio or strength? Thank you for your help. This kind of interaction helps you feel more comfortable in new environments. Now imagine, you are at a job fair. You walk up to a company booth and say, "Hi, I'm interested in learning more about your company." The recruiter replies, "Great, we're currently hiring for several positions. What field are you interested in?" You say, "I have experience in customer service and marketing." The recruiter responds, "We have a few openings that might be a good fit for you. Here's a brochure with more details." You say, "Thank you. Can I leave my resume with you?" The recruiter replies, "Absolutely. We'll be in touch if there's a match." This type of professional conversation can help you in networking situations. Practice saying, "I'm interested in learning more about your company." Can I leave my resume with you? These phrases will help you when you want to make a good impression. Let's now try a conversation at a bookstore. You walk in and say to the staff member, "Hi, do you have any books on learning English?" They respond, "Yes, we have a whole section on language learning. It's in aisle 3. You say, "Thank you. I'm looking for something focused on conversation practice." They say, "We have several titles. Would you prefer a beginner or intermediate level book?" You say, "Beginner level, please." They reply, "This one is very popular among English learners." You say, "Great, I'll take it." These everyday conversations help you express your interests and get help from others. Try repeating, "Do you have any books on learning English?" "I'm looking for something focused on conversation practice." "I'll take it." Practicing. This will help you ask for what you need in any type of store or service. Now imagine you're having a conversation with a tutor. You say, "Hi, I'd like to improve my English speaking skills." The tutor says, "Of course. What areas do you want to focus on?" You reply, "Mainly speaking and listening. I want to sound more natural." The tutor says, "We can practice dialogues and correct your pronunciation." You respond, "That sounds perfect. How often should we meet?" The tutor says, "Twice a week is a good start." You reply, "Great. Let's begin next Monday." These conversations help you practice how to speak clearly about your learning needs. Repeat with me. I'd like to improve my English speaking skills. I want to sound more natural. How often should we meet? This kind of clear communication is helpful when working with a teacher or coach. Let's now try an informal conversation between two friends making plans. One says, "Hey, do you want to hang out this weekend?" The other replies, "Sure. What do you have in mind?" You say, "Maybe a movie or just grab some coffee." They say, "Coffee sounds good. Saturday afternoon?" You say, "Perfect. Let's meet at the usual place at 3 p.m. These casual conversations are important for everyday interactions. Practice. Do you want to hang out this weekend? What do you have in mind? Let's meet at 3 p.m. These kinds of sentences will help you keep conversations going with friends and make social plans naturally. Now imagine a conversation when you receive a compliment. A colleague says, "I really liked your presentation today." You reply, "Thank you. I worked hard on it." They say, "It was clear, organized, and easy to follow." You say, "That means a lot. I appreciate your feedback." These short exchanges build your confidence and teach you how to respond politely. Practice saying, "Thank you. I worked hard on it. I appreciate your feedback." These polite replies will help you sound more confident and friendly in English. Let's try a conversation about food. You and a friend are talking about dinner plans. You say, "I'm in the mood for something spicy. How about Indian food?" Your friend says, "That sounds great. Do you know a good place nearby?" You reply, "Yes, there's a new restaurant that just opened." Your friend says, "Perfect. Let's try it." You say, "I'll make a reservation for 7 p.m. They respond, "Awesome. Looking forward to it." Practice these sentences. I'm in the mood for something spicy. Do you know a good place nearby? Let's try it. These food-related conversations are very common and fun to use in real life. Now let's go through a short conversation when someone is feeling sick. You say, "You don't look well. Are you okay?" The other person says, "I think I caught a cold. I have a sore throat and feel tired." You respond, "I'm sorry to hear that. You should rest and drink lots of water." They say, "Thanks. I'll take it easy today." You reply, "Let me know if you need anything." These caring conversations help you show kindness and concern for others. Practice saying, "Are you okay?" "You should rest and drink water." "Let me know if you need anything." These phrases are useful when someone around you isn't feeling well. Let's now end with a short conversation at a cash register. You say, "Hi, I'd like to pay for these items." The cashier says, "Sure, that'll be $15.80. You reply, "Here's 20. The cashier gives you change and says, "Here's your change. Would you like a bag?" You respond, "Yes, please." The cashier says, "Thank you. Have a nice day." You say, "You too." These checkout conversations are simple but essential. Practice. "I'd like to pay for these items. Would you like a bag? Have a nice day." Using these phrases often will help you in stores, restaurants, and many other places. And now we've come to the end of today's video. You've practiced a wide range of real-life English conversations at home, in shops, at work, while traveling, and in many more daily situations. Remember, the key to fluency is repetition and regular practice. Try listening to these conversations again and repeat them out loud until they feel natural. You can even practice them with a friend or speak them out while watching the captions. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become in real-life situations. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to TalkMate English. That way you won't miss our future lessons and practice videos. I'm Adam, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep practicing and keep speaking English every day. Bye for now.